Whatever happened, body positivity? The Lizzo Butterbean, King Kong Bundy. You miss your old familiar friends when Leah Thomas was a man. Everywhere you look, everywhere they're eliminating our love of body positivity. Oh, the legacy of Simone Biles is forever tarnished. I don't understand. I will never understand why you would publicly defend the indefensible. There aren't very many areas where Americans are damn near in 100% agreement. We are a divided country. Some of us parade during Mardi Gras, others parade during celebrations of Wiener. Some of us celebrate Christmas in December, while others take 4 weeks off in the month of June to celebrate woke Christmas. If you're a vegan, or you're struggling with the roids, June is the toughest month of the year. Cucumbers are out of stock, and you're damn sure not finding tubes of Preparation H. Some of us see the ongoing disaster in the People's Republic of California, and we call it an orchestrated riot, while others, they would describe it as gainful employment. These innocent people are just trying to do their jobs. They're saving the climate by burning those dangerous cars. But there is one area where almost everyone is in agreement. The vast majority of people do not want men in women's sports or women's locker rooms, and they damn sure don't want men in the women's restroom. Most rational people are in agreement, unless you're Simone Biles and her pretend friends in the mainstream media. Headline at USA Today, and imagine my surprise. Just imagine my surprise when I noticed that this steaming turd was written by my old friend, Granny Nancy Armour, the esteemed colleague of the Star Trek virgin Mike Freeman. Speaking of Captain Doofus, my inside sources captured exclusive footage of Mike Freeman from this past weekend. Now, as you can see, he is displaying his woke mating call, attempting to seduce the batteries out of R2-D2. Headline at USA Today. Simone Biles shows her greatness again by standing up for transgender community. What? Excuse me? This is what we're calling greatness now? Simone Biles is one of the most decorated Olympic athletes in the history of this country. 7 gold medals. She's won a combined 32 gold medals at various events throughout her career. Her legacy was cemented. The job was done. Her greatness was undisputed. But now, Simone Biles seems hell-bent on destroying her own legacy by involving herself in something that had absolutely nothing to do with her. Friday afternoon, Riley Gaines sent out a tweet about the cheaters who won the state championship in softball in Minnesota. Marissa Rothenberger, formerly known as Charlie Dean, born with Frankenbeans, pitched a complete game shutout to win the state championship. Unsurprisingly, the girls were having a hard time with the speed and the velocity of a pitcher who used to be a boy. A lot of people were tweeting about this on Friday. Some were actually at the game and they were complaining about the tampon dispenser being empty in the men's restroom. But Riley Gaines was pointing out the invalidity of this championship because the winning team had an unfair advantage. That's what Riley Gaines does. She's an advocate for women. And you would think, with Simone Biles being a proponent of girl power, that Simone Biles would be supportive of Riley Gaines, or at minimum, stay out of it. That's all she had to do, stay out of it. Instead, Simone Biles body shames Riley Gaines, which is a direct violation of the fourth woke commandment, which carries harsh penalties for criticizing body positivity. But then, the sleuths on Twitter, they went through Simone Biles' history and found a tweet from 2017 where Simone Biles completely contradicts herself and exposes her own hypocrisy. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel is in the description below. Today on the second channel, going to be talking about Michelle Beadle officially being fired by SiriusXM after she unleashed a tirade on the company and Stephen A. Smith. I actually feel bad here for Michelle Beadle, and I know Stephen A. is pleading ignorance. I know he is claiming that he had nothing to do with this, but my conspiracy radar is going off, and I think Stephen A. Smith finally got his revenge on Michelle Beadle. I'll explain why, so click the link in the description, subscribe to the second channel. Let's go back to last Friday and start with Simone Biles' original response to Riley Gaines. Check it out for yourself. You are a loser! You should be uplifting men who want to be women! If anyone should understand, it should be you, Riley Gaines. You have man muscles. Bye, Felicia! There seems to be several clear violations of the woke commandments here. Number one, this sounds like misogyny to me. Simone Biles is insinuating that Riley Gaines is masculine, which would also mean she is insinuating that Riley Gaines is toxic, because according to deacons at Woke United Methodist, all masculinity is toxic. And number two, Simone Biles seems to be advocating bullying. She's encouraging Riley Gaines to bully men. I don't know about you guys, but that doesn't sound very inclusive to me. Matter of fact, I thought bullying was bad, bad, bad. Riley Gaines responded to Simone Biles in these egregious violations of the woke commandments. Watch it for yourself.
Simone Biles, I guess in an attempt to be inclusive and virtuous, decided to sell out all women and girls who have dreams to achieve and to succeed, and to specifically personally attack and body shame me. She tweeted this out of the blue, like this came out of nowhere, and she said, Riley, me, you're truly sick, all of this campaigning because you lost a race. First of all, if she's insinuating I lost to a man, I've lost several races in my career, duh, that's part of being an athlete. But if she's saying I lost to a man, that's factually incorrect. We tied, besides the point. Straight up sore loser. You should be uplifting the trans community and perhaps finding a way to make sports inclusive, or creating a new avenue where trans feel safe in sports. Let me get something straight. It's my job. It's the women's job. This is what Simone Biles is saying. It's the women's job to find a way for the men's feelings to be validated, for their identity to be affirmed. That's not my job.
Obviously, Riley Gaines is 100% right. Women are not responsible for making sure that men feel included in women's sports. Women are not responsible for making sure that men are comfortable when they're taking their spots, winning their championships. Not to mention the fact that they've tried transgender divisions in sports. If I remember correctly, I want to say the Boston Marathon tried this. I believe we talked about it here on the channel a couple of months ago. The transgender division was a failure due to a complete lack of participation. You see, this is not a problem for men. How many women have you seen trying to make the men's basketball team at Duke? How many women have you seen trying out for quarterback at Alabama? None. It's always the other way around. It's always men taking spots from women. And it amazes me that Simone Biles, or the inspiration of prepubescent boys, Meg Rapinoe, it amazes me that these female athletes who benefited from women's sports, who made generational wealth for their families, it amazes me they advocate for men to take away these opportunities as soon as their careers are over. strange. Yesterday morning, a tweet from 2017 resurfaced from Simone Biles. Now, in fairness to her, I don't know what she is referencing here. The tweet she is responding to was either deleted or the account was deleted. Either way, the sentiment seems to be clear. Check it out for yourself. Good thing guys don't compete against girls. I would never win any gold medals. Over the last 5 years, the mainstream media has celebrated this supposed growth in women's sports. They like to use the pretend basketball and the WNBA as an example, but we all know the WNBA is still a premier dump. The popularity of Caitlin Clark has grown, but the WNBA as a league is still a polished turd. Now, that being said, there has been growth in other women's sports. College volleyball saw record viewership last fall. The Women's College World Series, I think it's been amazing. Some games are eclipsing 2 million viewers. Women's college basketball has grown. Hopefully, Juju Watkins can recover from injury and be the star of the women's tournament next year. For decades, women's sports were ignored. When I was growing up in the 90s, I don't remember seeing them on television outside of something like the World Cup or major tennis tournaments or the Olympics. Women have come a long way. There's been a lot of progress. Venus and Serena Williams, Dawn Staley, Simone Biles, they have elevated their respective sports, which is why I'm struggling to understand why they're trying to destroy it. Last year, Dawn Staley was advocating for men and women's basketball. Obviously, Simone Biles was doing the same thing this weekend. If there are biological men in women's basketball, why in the hell would anyone watch it? The only reason they're on the women's team is because they couldn't make the men's team. So why would I watch men pretending to be women who weren't qualified to make the men's team when I could just watch the men's team? If this continues, women's sports will cease to exist, which would save colleges and universities along with the NBA. It would save them millions of dollars every year because most women's sports have always been a money loser. But it would take away opportunities from women who deserve it. I go back to the same question I asked yesterday. If Simone Biles doesn't support women's sports, why should I? You have been begging for years, for people to give women a chance. You have been begging for decades for women to be given equal opportunities on television. And now that they finally get the chance, the faces of women's sports, they are trying to take opportunities away from other women. Someone please make it make sense. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.